And we're live.
Oh, snap.
Oh, baby.
Woohoo.
Welcome back, everybody, to the bi-weekly Tuesday night Gebrindalethor 5th edition D&D Defenders of Kobold game.
All of those words were accurate.
All of those words. We are
Yes.
down at Dan for a little bit, hopefully, so recap.
Oh,
What did
snap.
we do last time?
We accidentally were an accessory to murder.
Accurate.
No, that was 2 times ago.
That was
that
two
two
times
times
ago.
ago?
But
What did we do last time? Oh, shit. We went and we fucking ambushed some motherfuckers.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the hallways.
That's what you did last
Not
time.
hallways. Alleys.
In the
Yep.
alleys. Yeah. And we
Yep,
dragged them into the room and we dug up the fucking flooring and we found the weird fucking tablet and we were going to take that tablet to guards.
eBay.
Yeah.
eBay.
So you guys took Jameson's lead, followed guards back to their, like, what you assume is their make whatever place that they were staying, and found some stuff there. I think one of them you knocked unconscious and the rest you killed, and so you're gonna take him and the stuff you found to the guards that you still had to talk to, who had information from politely talking to the other guy that you captured.
Yeah, that sounds spot on. We had some discussion among ourselves asking if we were going to take like the dude back to our place so we can interrogate it, but I think that got voted down. It sounds like a bad idea to me. We had no luck interrogating people last time.
Yeah, and this time you don't have a roper beast.
Right. So yeah, I am most down to let the authorities handle this.
Yep, which they are inclined to do.
Good. So were we at? Were we getting ready to roll up into the palace or some shit?
Yeah, pretty much. You guys had your chest. It was like a large stone, I guess you could say tablet. It's like a slab, just huge bit of stone,
Right.
the size of the bottom of this chest that you found.
Yeah.
Found some magic items in it as well, but you couldn't determine what they did.
That sounds
I believe
accurate.
I had it written down. What you guys found.
We had one of them
Just-
fucked up daggers still too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found one of those fucked up daggers. You had one of those. You've had 2 amulets and 4 rings.
Okay. Well, we were
And
gonna
the amulets looked identical and the rings looked identical.
fucking cultist man, always carrying around identical shit. Have some
And some
personality.
cultist robes. You found 2 pairs of cultist robes. Those were down in that
Very,
thing.
very
Yes.
exciting.
Wait, 4 matching rings. Aren't there 4 of us? We should each take a ring and put it on our fingers. No questions asked.
Sounds like a trap. On a scale of 1 to 10, I do not recommend.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, let's take this dude in this fucking slab to the authorities, and then we need to find us a magic user that can identify these rings and amulets.
Alright. So, let's move you back over to this map.
Ah,
Where you
Pixels.
guys were at. Yeah.
oh,
Your fight that you guys had kind of gone into was kind of in this whole area here that you were going through buildings and such. After capturing them, you know that the main place that you needed to go for information was at the manor. The manor is both where the officials stay and where they keep the jails.
Yep, that's where we need to go.
So you mosey your way on over there.
Oh, snap. Thanks for the sub, Sammy. Despite your poor choice in men, you make some great choices on the Twitch channels you subscribe to.
Yep.
Joe, your map got a compliment on Twitch. Do you want to plug who you got it from?
Oh, yes. I got this from 2 Minute Tabletop. He makes some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
All sorts of neat maps. Some are this size where it's like full city size, and then there's some that are just like zoomed in battle mat. But I use a lot of 2-minute tabletop stuff and neutral party. They both make kind of the same type of thing. Some of it's for free and some of it's for Patreon subscribers, which I am one to both of them. Yes, I can find a link while
Do that
I'm
link.
working through this. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, we need to go to the fucking
So you
manor.
have
It's still
to-
night, right?
Yeah, it was getting to be around like 3 or so in the morning after you guys had resolved everything, kind of gone through it.
Okay.
So you can still like probably take a rest or something and then go there.
Well, we got an active hostage with us, so I would like to not rest and take them right there if you guys are in agreement.
Yeah.
Torge and Orem,
Sure.
no objection.
Nope.
Sure, that's fine. All right. So you guys make your way to that manor. There's kind of this perimeter wall that there's usually guards stationed there at all times of night. So you definitely find some people. They look at you a little bit weird just for being out at night. Like the city kind of dies down, especially around this part of town. In the early morning hours. And it's kind of dark too, so it takes them quite a while for them to realize that. I imagine probably Torge would have this hostage of yours slung over his shoulder or something.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that works.
Yes, I'm a good pack mule.
Yes. So you guys make your way up, and
Yeah.
there's 2 guards posted there, both with pikes, and they drop them to kind of show that you need to speak with them first before going through. But they're like, "What's up with this guy?" And they're pointing to the one that's slung over Torge's shoulder.
This guy here is an asshole. He's an asshole
Alright.
in a cult. And we're taking this asshole in a cult to the people in the manor so he can join the other asshole in a cult that we caught before.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Cult.
remember the names of the sect, Joe. Did we know like what their culty name was?
We're taking him to Steven.
We're taking
Yeah.
him. Oh, I didn't even remember the name of the guard. Yeah, we need to see Steven.
Oh yeah. Steven's not
Steven-
here, but you mentioned Steven. And they're like, "Oh, you're the party Steven sent over here." Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
password.
Yeah.
Steven's the password.
Password is Steven with a PH.
Yes.
With the PH.
Steven?
And they straighten themselves up hearing his name. And they're like, "Oh, right this
Good
way."
God, how big is this guy's like reputation?
Yeah. Do you ask
Pretty
that, or
big.
do you?
I mean, no, I'm just kind of thinking to
Okay.
myself. I'm not going to ask them that. That would be rude.
Yeah, that's fine. No, they're totally straightened up. Their eyes are wide. They seem very excited to be talking with acquaintances of Steven, the guard. And so they, one of them like spins his hand around his head, like beckoning at one of the guards up on the wall. And he's like, "Open it up!" And you see the guard up on the wall duck down behind some cranks and things as they're moving. And the door unlatches, and they push these giant, wide, double doors apart for you guys to step through.
Fuck yeah.
Damn
Once you're
straight.
inside, there's a few other guards kind of posted to the left of this door. And they're like, "Oh, please." And they put their hands up trying to grab this hostage off your Torge. They're like, "Let us get him."
After they take him from me, I kind of lean into the Viet and I just kind of mumble to him a little bit, like kind of smiling. These guys must have heard of me.
I think you're right.
Probably.
Your reputation
Quite a
precedes
reputation.
you.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm completely under the impression that the welcome wagon is for me.
I'm pretty sure it is for
I'm
us.
just smiling and I'm looking bashful. I'm like, no, I don't need all this.
So they bring you in. One of the guards from the front gate is kind of leading you, and he's like, "Have you guys been here before, or is this your first time in the capital?"
This is my first time here.
It's like, all right. Well, this is the manor. Not a whole lot of people get in here, but people, especially acquaintances of Stephen, welcome anytime. And he starts leading you
what
over.
you're saying is Steven always gets it in?
Yep, that he does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his name known. So they start leading you, and kind of on the side of this building here, it seems to be made a little bit more robustly. Most of it's kind of these nice painted walls, but they're bringing you over to the side where there's this staircase that kind of goes down into the ground. It's all stone. And he's like, well, this is where the jails are. And points you down. There's this large open staircase, about 3 people wide, probably could walk down. And there's a gate at the bottom.
How far down is the staircase? Like short flight, long flight, all stone?
It's a short flight, all stone. It goes like 1 story, so the top of this gate is level with the bottom of this building that you're going underneath. And there's a small landing for people to be able to stand at the bottom by this gate. Looks like it swings inwards. So he points everyone down, and he starts walking. And you see there's a guard posted there on the other side of the gate. He seems confused that there's so many people there all of a sudden.
It's fine. We're friends of Steven.
He's like, oh, all right. And he straightens up as well. And as the guard that was leading you, he like does that same kind of motion, spinning his hand, and the guard behind pulls out his key ring and starts unlocking the door. And as he's getting to the door and lifting the latches and such, the guard that's leading you turns around. He's like, so how do you guys know Steven? How'd you run into him? How is he? He doesn't really speak highly of many people.
At his old post, he overslept one day for work, and I went and woke him up.
I mean, yeah.
That's when I'm like, he saved his life.
He seems super confused. He's like, he would never miss a shift. I mean, I know he was slightly retired from the force.
He was poisoned. He was poisoned.
Poison?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's reason enough to miss your shift. But definitely something like poison couldn't kill someone like Steven, so.
It probably would have killed any lesser man, and I just kind of swing a hand and pat him on the back a little bit harder than I mean to, kind of laughing. Ha 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 ha!
He chuckles a little bit and seems a little bit unnerved by that, but kind of shrugs it off. He's like, alright, this way. And they're kind of the 2 guards that you handed this other captured person to Torch. They're pretty lazily dragging this body down the stairs after you. His feet are like just bumping down the staircase.
I'm perfectly good with that.
He's been pretty roughed up too, so he's still pretty safe to say he's still completely out. And so you go down, and it's like a very long hallway. And there's pretty much just all these little rooms off to the side that are stored with like supplies and some weapons and a few things like scattered around. There's some maps in one room. It's kind of seems to be all like barracks of some sort. But there's like this kind of slight slope. Every 5 feet or so, it kind of goes down like a half step. I don't know if you've seen those staircases that are like really elongated, kind of.
Like a
Whereas-
tiered room, like a really drawn out tiered room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a staircase, but every step's like a few feet wide instead of.
Like the movie theaters.
Yeah. Yep, sort of like that.
There you
So
go.
it's kind of slowly making its way down and going lower and lower. And you see at the end of this hallway is another gate, but it seems much more reinforced than this previous one. And the guard, as you're walking to it, he starts flipping through his key ring. It says, like, well, here's the entrance to the jails. And flicks the latch. And he's like, don't pay too much attention and stay a little bit back from the bars. We don't have quite everyone restrained in here, so they might try and reach out of you, but it's nothing to be worried about.
If they reach at me, it'll be the last reach they take.
That's what I like to hear. So they walk down, and you see that there's just rows and rows and rows of cells. Still kind of stepping down in the same fashion the previous room was, where every few feet it's going down. And not every one of these cells is full, but I'd say about 2/3 of them have someone in them. Most of the people are sleeping, but every so often you hear some people like muttering to themselves or cleaning things around in their cell, playing with their chains. There's only a few people that are like actually at the bars with their hands out. But they, as the guard gets close, they kind of withdraw them a little bit. They're all
Okay.
calling out, some of them, but most of them are pretty quiet. It's pretty late at night.
What a well-behaved group of prisoners.
Yeah, really. And you guys continue down, and at the end of this, probably past about 15 blocks of cells, there's another door that's locked, reinforced, kind of like the one to get into this room. And he says, now this is the place that not a whole lot of people such as yourselves get to go and see, but not many people capture people of this caliber, so I feel it's a fitting reward. And he's flipping through his keyring again and unlocks it and swings, and it opens into this large, like, spiral circular room where, well, it's kind of like a circular chasm almost. Like, you walk in and there's this staircase that goes around the wall. And it's probably about I'd say like a 20-foot gap from one side of the room to another, with a big opening in the center that you see like a rope and pulley system.
Oh, that's intense.
And it goes farther than any of you can see, even with dark vision. Just straight
Okay.
down.
Hey, thanks for that host, Ever Clarity GG. Very cool.
Oh, hey, it's my friend.
Aw, snap.
Hell yeah. So he starts walking down. He pulls a torch off one of the walls and makes his way. And it's a pretty steep staircase, but not enough that it's really like hard to walk down, but it spirals around. You can see after you go about 2 floors or so down, those of you with dark vision are starting to see the bottom. There's like a big platform that these rope pulleys are fastened to. That seems to be like how supplies and such are carted down to the bottom.
Okay, very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Tally ho!
And you hear that pulley system actually rustling as that cart starts being pulled up. And you see the 2 guards that had the unconscious guy. One of them's pulling on that And there's also someone else at the bottom that's pulling on the half. And that pull is they're slowly raising that cart up. It looks like to grab the unconscious man, and it's taking them a while. So as they're doing you walk, and there's another gate. This one's not locked, and it opens up into this big, like, kind of cavernous room. It's like mostly rock. The walls aren't completely finished, but some of them seem to be built up. It's mostly like a natural cave.
Okay.
It splits off. Looks like this is kind of like the main room, but there's a few holes and such that look like they split off into other natural caves, but they're all lit. Here's some really faint echoes of people not having the best time of their life. Screams and lots of metallic sounds.
How romantic.
Cleaning. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my dungeon.
Pretty much that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys want to bet?
So much fun together.
Yeah. What do you guys want to bet? We end up having to fight some asshole down here.
Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a Tuesday.
Accurate. All right. Well, let's go find out what this asshole's going to be.
Choose the form of your destruction.
Right.
So
I tried to think of the most unfrightening thing I could think of. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
But you didn't specify how big it would be.
Yeah, he didn't specify size.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. All right, Joe. Sorry, I kind of
No, that's fine.
you there.
So the guard that's been leaving you kind of waits by the gate. He's like, the person you want to talk to is down at the end of this room. There's an opening. That's a tunnel that'll lead you to where that caster you captured has been. And he points, and this room is kind of long from... So like if you were to walk straight through the door and keep going, there's this kind of tunnel opening at the back right of the room. There's probably like 3 other pathways that branch out.
Okay. So what way are we supposed to go?
Back right of the room. It's like almost on the straight ahead. Like if you were to walk straight through the door to this room and keep going. Oh, it's a Dan.
Yeah, terribly sorry about that.
That's right. You should be.
Well, the thing that we went to was supposed to end at 8.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Those assholes. Fight them next time.
Well, they weren't giving us such good food.
Oh, definitely fight them next time.
Oh, okay.
Fight them and take the food.
Well,
and then take it back to the kitchen and cook it and make it good yourself.
It was damn good.
Oh, snap.
Heck yeah. So,
Anyway.
to fill you in real quick, Dan.
Yes.
You guys...
Did they ruin everything?
No, not much has happened yet. They've just been traveling to the jail, and now the torture part of the jail.
We're going to go find where Steven took those guys we found.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you're at. So currently, you're inside of the underground jail that's beneath the Capitol Manor. And you were just pointed kind of the direction that you guys need to go. You walked into this room. So the first bit was all kind of like a normal built-up jail, but you came to this room that was just like this spiral staircase that went down 3 stories into the ground. And now you're in kind of like this mixture of natural caves, and some have walls built up on them, but for the most part the room is just cave that's been converted into like a jail. So there's bars and walls where they need to be, but there's a lot of natural wall and things. So you
It's
were
all
pointed
hard
down this
to spoon your way out of a cave.
Yep. Yeah, especially with a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way through this tunnel, and it's pretty much a straight shot, and it's pretty echoey in here as well. And as you're getting farther down it, the light from the previous room kind of dies down, and it's almost pitch black kind of in the middle of it. And as you're starting to reach the next room, you see the light reflecting and bouncing down the hallway. And there's this ever increasing louder sound of like repetitive metal clanging. So you're approaching this next room.
Iron Man?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you hear some distorted
Or-
electric guitars.
I was thinking more like somebody hammering something on an anvil.
Yeah. No.
The forging of Iron Man in the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not quite.
Too bad he's dead.
Ooh.
Rip.
Too soon?
But, so you guys make it into this room. And it's another, mostly natural cave. But only one of the walls is built up. And this wall is lined with all sorts of various tools and horrible, like, torture instruments all on it. Like barbed spikes and all sorts of fun things. Whips. And you see this, like, hunched man by an anvil. And he has this, like, poker that he's transferring from an open flame to the anvil and beating it out a little bit. And
The
then
notebook you were
back to the
looking for?
flame.
This one?
Are you there, Dan?
Yes. Sorry, Jamie just walked up and is giving me crap over something.
Okay.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
So this guy doesn't seem to notice you yet, though. He's just kind of content hammering away with his back to you.
Hey!
How did I know
Hey.
you were going to do that?
You yell out, and he's like mid-swing going to hit this, and you scare him, and he throws the hammer in front of him and punches the anvil instead.
Oh!
And he jumps back and grabs his hand and is just like, ah, fuck! Spins around. And he's like, hurting themselves, and who are you?
I'll walk up to him and I'll pat him on the shoulder. And as I do so, oh no, I've used all of my lay on hands. Never mind,
Yeah.
he's on his own. We're friends of Steve's.
Steve's. And he looks a little confused. Like,
Steven!
Steven! Oh, you're friends of
Yes.
Steven's.
Yes.
And he like kind of looks around. His head's like never really staying in the same place. It's kind of like, you know how a chicken moves its head around, where it's always like just looking in random directions, not really focusing on
Yeah.
anything. That's kind of how this guy is.
It's a little twitchy.
A little twitchy. Doesn't really seem to be able to look at one thing for too long without moving his head and staring at you to the side. So he's like, Steven, so you guys,
His eyes not pitched forward.
ever so often they kind of like drift apart from each other. It's a little unsettling.
Oh,
He's looking
yeah,
at two people
googly
at the same
eyes.
time.
Yeah, it's very efficient.
Mhm.
So he's twitching a little bit. He's like, Steven, so you would be the people that... And he yells, this guy! And he points over, and there's this table that's kind of at a 45-degree angle with a horridly reduced
Loud.
version of that caster strapped
Yes.
to it.
Oh man, has he still got all of his bits?
Um,
I mean,
above
does he
the
have
torso, yeah. He's missing one of his legs below the knee.
Oh,
He's
Ooh.
missing his foot on the other side. And
That's some
he
serious
seems to be
trimming there.
unconscious. Yeah,
To? They have not been kind to him. That is for sure.
no. And he just has his head down with his hair in his face. And you can't see him. He's like, this guy, I've had him for about a week, I think. He starts nibbling on his
Yeah.
hand where it, there's like a bit of a cut on where his hand slammed in the side of the anvil. And he has like his mouth over it and he's nibbling on it slightly.
You're a real character there, Chief. You cut the guy's leg off
He needed it. It was infected.
and his foot.
Yeah.
Also infected, right?
Also infected.
Was it? Did it get infected after your work?
I possibly, yeah. I mean, he had some cuts that I made, and then they were infected. So I had to
Okay.
make some more cuts.
Okay.
He's fine now. He's sleeping.
I find that a good hammering usually fixes most things.
No, hammers are great. A little too, they break a little bit too much, though. I like precise cuts. And
They do tend to break things.
As he says cuts, he like licks over that wound that's just in his hand. And starts doing like this. And he's like, oh, come over. And
A little bit Hannibal Lecter going on there.
a little bit. You get the impression this guy spends a lot of time down here.
Too much time.
Yeah. So did you get your information from this guy?
He's like, yes! So he grabs onto the side of the table and starts shaking it a little bit. And he looks at him, looks back at you guys. He's like, this man knew a lot. But he was convinced he didn't, but I knew better. So,
Oh, okay.
Share with the class, maybe?
Yeah.
Moral dilemma.
Maybe he made up a lot.
Yeah.
I know when it's genuine. I think. I've been at this job a while.
I just need actionable intelligence.
Yeah.
Point me in a
He shakes
direction, I'll smash something.
Convince me and I'll go.
He's like, so he's a part of the group known as Crow. I don't know why they call Crow, but they have a lot of like feathers and weird claw stuff. So I think crows have those. I don't know. I don't really know what all it means, but I know what all it is. So, and goes into
I hope that sigh is coming through.
a little bit.
All right. So you know about this group, right?
Mhm.
And did you learn what this group is up to?
Oh yeah. So, do you know of Rule?
Of what?
Rule. And
That's
coughs a little
the
bit.
word.
Can you spell it? Could you?
I don't know if he can spell.
He puts
What
his hands on his head and he looks very frustrated.
We're just going to say no.
Spelling is his first for
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about spelling it. We're just going to say no. We don't know what the fuck it is.
Well, Rule is very old man. Not man, devil. Very old. And
That was an escalation.
yeah. No, not like him, not like us. Old. Devil. Much older than before our time. But he was killed a long time ago. First Order. They killed him.
Okay.
A long time ago. Like hundreds of years ago. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Oh shit!
Oh god damn it. Hundreds and hundreds, yes.
Yeah.
Come back around.
Uh-huh.
God.
People who can count.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Rule. And I think with that name, that'd be enough for anyone to make like a knowledge. Does anyone have like knowledge history or anything?
Uh, that's a fucking question.
I sure do.
I sure don't.
If you've got it, I'm happy letting you roll it. 'cause
I've
I
got a
doubt-
straight 0.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to actually add mine. Ooh, can I take the first number anyway? Shit.
Oh, snap. Hey, Dad Bod, thanks for swinging by.
Oh, snap. It's the dad bod.
Wait,
I-
you just forgot to add your modifier the first time you rolled it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can take the first number. Yeah.
Okay.
that's what you
23
rolled.
then.
Alright. So, with the name Rule, you would know that it's spelled R-U-U-L.
Oh,
And-
rule.
Yeah, like
Oh.
ruler, but not Yeah. You would know him as a very old devil king to this land, and he's much associated with like birds and crows, and he has kind of like a crow-like form. He resembles like a kenku, if you know what those are. I think that's how you say that.
Perhaps he's a burb person.
A little bit, yeah. If you know what the kenku race is, it's like raven people. He's basically a gigantic evil one of those.
Hmm.
that
Does a lot of
fucking
bad stuff.
chicken.
Kills a lot of people.
Okay.
Doesn't like
Well,
humans,
that's not
doesn't like
cool.
other races. Likes to do a lot of stuff from behind the scenes.
Okay.
And pretty much all that's known about him is that he's been dead for as long as there's been highly organized people. And the last group of people that killed him was known as the First Order. And they were a group of knights that banded together and murdered the fuck out of him.
And specialized in appetizers.
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
Yes.
The hors d'oeuvres.
The first order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
The first
manager was
course.
Kylo. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's hard to make generic names that aren't used.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so he's basically this. With a 23, you don't know. He's still not that well known in the
Okay.
world because he's pretty lesser and he's been dead for most of his life, or most of like
Yeah.
recorded history. Not most of his life. You know what I mean? He's been dead for a while and didn't really make too much of an impact, but still, a being of that caliber is not good. Not good news. And like, anyways, cut back to this torturer dude. He starts explaining that this group known as Crow is a somewhat brainwashed, somewhat devoted following to him, and their goal is bringing him back and killing enough people, racking up enough souls to make that happen.
It's a precious currency he's working there.
Yep. And he mentions that he starts talking about how they have some sort of weird dagger that they're able to steal souls with.
We got one of those on us. I'll show it to the guy. Like one of these, you little shit.
Yeah, imagine he's like mid, like trying. You see his hand out, and he's like trying to form like a crow hand, trying to explain it. It's like a dagger with a crow, exactly like one of those. And he's like, "Can I see it?"
I feel so much regret, but yeah, you can look at it.
Oh, he grabs it and he runs over to his anvil, and he holds it up, and kind of leans towards the fire and holds it a little bit, and he's just kind of spinning it around in his hands. He's like, very crude and horribly made. I love it. And he's just
Of course
spinning it
you do.
over in his hands.
All right. So we know these assholes are called the Crow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know that they work for some big chicken god.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing? Like, what's their goal? Did you figure out their goal?
Oh, so they have a lot of these. And he holds this up. He's like, but usually they're glowy. He starts tapping on the red thing at the bottom. And when they're glowy,
Yeah.
that's bad. Very bad.
What,
That means
what does it mean?
that means people. Like, and so he walks over to the caster
Souls.
dude, and walks over to caster dude, and pushes the dagger against his leg, and runs it down the side of his leg really quick. Not super deep that he like totally cuts into him, but just enough to make like a scratch. And you see that there's no blood as this happens, but it's definitely deep enough that there should have been. And
Okay.
the
It
orb
doesn't
at the end
deal. You go ahead.
of it, the orb at the end of it, like glows softly. It's not as bright as it was with the guy that had it before.
Yeah. He may have had
'cause
some.
Oh, so it's
The
like
last time you
sucking
saw
the
it-
blood up out of him.
Mm-hmm. Last time you
Mm.
saw someone, they had like it was glowing super brightly, but this one was almost totally dull when you had it. And with this like slice down his foot, you can see there's like a small red dot. It's not like the whole thing gets bright, but you see like there's this little tiny light source in the center of the ball. That's
So it
kind of
needs
clicked on.
fuel.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the philosopher's dagger.
Yeah,
little bit.
those assholes.
Full Metal Alchemist.
A little bit. Hey, I
All
like
right.
that show.
It's a good show. It's a darn good show.
Mm,
It is good.
Definitely wouldn't steal anything from it ever. But
nice. All right. So we got that they work for the Crow dude. They've got these daggers that steal souls. What's
Mhm.
their end game though?
bring him back. They got enough of these, and they bring him back.
Of course they are. Did you find out where they're working from?
Yeah. Far away.
Of course.
And he starts pacing, and he's like looking for something in the room, and can't see it. And there's like a table at the other side that's actually being used as a table, not to hold a person. And
Nice.
there's a bunch of random things over there. But he locks eyes on that table and kind of scurries over to it and starts knocking things off of it. There's just random bits of metal and scraps and loose ends and things. A foot. And knocks them all to the side. And
Wait, a
digs underneath
foot?
the table. Yep.
I'm
Digs
sorry.
underneath-
What?
Dude's foot. Yeah.
Just
digs
hanging
under
out.
for a little bit and pulls out like this big piece of parchment and lays it down. It's like this kind of waxy paper he pulls out. And is all kind of folded badly. But he sets it and pats it down a little bit and tries to flatten it out across the table. And then he picks up an ink pot and dips a quill into it, starts scribbling on this giant just map. Now,
Okay.
this is- let me find that page.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Whoop. Remember this thing that I was going to use way more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are here.
It's the vamp.
Mm-hmm. So
What
he
are we
draws
at again?
a very crude shape that kind of resembles this. And it almost looks exactly like this, what he draws out on this map really quickly.
Mm.
And then he puts a big, like, red X right about here. It's like, this is us. And
Tall cap. Okay.
us. And he draws this line here. Them.
That is a very long ways. Do I have an idea of, like, overland, what kind of travel time that would be?
That would take about a week and a half.
Okay.
It's a little ways.
Yeah. So, when's Steven coming back? Do you know?
Are you asking him?
Yeah, I'm asking him.
You're like, Steven stays in here. Steven lives here. Steven retired.
Oh, okay. So Steven's not coming back. It's okay.
Captain Steven retired.
So, okay.
He's just constantly like adding.
Yeah.
He's like doing this absently as he's waiting for the conversation to progress.
All right. What else did you find out from this guy?
There's a lot of them, and I wasn't. I don't know if they had him yet or not. He was very vague, and now he's asleep. So he sounded like Rule alive, but also could be Rule still dead. I don't know.
So he may be alive.
Oh, other mission they had.
What was their other
And so-
mission?
And he draws a line here. Actually, wait, no, it's not that direction.
There's a lot of lines on the screen at this point.
No, he draws. So picture that line.
Turn
Actually,
turn your head slightly to the right. It looks kind of like a really angry potato.
Oh yeah, the mountains are its like nose or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah.
Mm.
so he draws a line
river
here,
is-
actually.
That's what we're all here for.
He starts marking here. He says, Bedford. First order grave.
Is that where Rule is buried?
No,
Now, the grave of the people who took him out originally. What are they doing there?
they were going to destroy it.
Probably nothing because they're dead.
Yeah, he starts
Damn.
laughing.
Truth.
Yeah. He like lets out this horrible like wheezing cough out of a laugh. He's like, yes, dead. But Bedford, first order, grave here. They wanted to destroy it.
Any
Things
particular
here
reason,
you
or
need.
just what you said?
Things
there's
here
shit there
Rule
we
doesn't
need?
like.
Fucking Christ!
Mm.
Probably some sort of pokey things or drinky things.
Very
or,
pokey things. And he like beckons over to the wall, like with both hands, his wall of torture instruments. Pokey
Oh,
things.
they're weapons.
are
They're
there wary things? Just
I
pokey
don't know.
things. Just pokey things. Okay.
I only care about pokey things.
Alright,
And
that's
he's
fair.
like, he's wearing pretty much nothing but a leather apron.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I'm wearing like less than that, so I'm like, we don't need armor.
Yep.
All right. Do you got any more details on either of these things you could share with us?
He's like, key. Key was stone.
The
I
key
don't
was
know.
the stone.
Stone key. He didn't
Is
say
it-
anything more about that.
We got our fucking slab here. I can present that and ask, is this what you're fucking talking about?
And he looks at it. And then he like points to the table. He says, put it there.
All right.
So you guys drop that slab on the table. He starts looking at it. And spins it around a little bit. It's kind of on the paper, and he's just sliding it all on the paper, and it's destroying the map that he made.
Of course.
But he looks at it a bit, and he picks up the foot that was on the ground and starts dragging it along the surface of this. And some of the blood from it gets into little crevices and cracks in the etchings on the front. And they glow slightly.
Oh,
It's like, key!
Blood sacrifice required, apparently.
It's a cutting board.
Yeah, there you go.
a cheese grater of some sort.
Mhm.
Oh, foot grater.
And he leaves the foot on it and then picks up the slab and goes to hand it back to you guys.
Mm.
The foot or the tablet?
The
Both,
tablet
yeah.
with the foot still on it.
Maybe we'll decline the foot and let him keep it.
Well, we probably need it to activate the tablet.
Well, maybe we just need any blood.
Yeah, I bet we can pick up some fresh stuff on the way there.
Has anybody got like a vial or a bottle or something like that that we could put that in? Squeeze
I
a little
don't.
You
water
wanna
in case
juice
we
the
need it.
foot?
Yeah, I want to juice the foot a little bit in case we need something.
Are you asking this like out loud?
You should. I mean,
Yes.
So he's
I
like,
am musing out loud if there is a way for us to carry some of the blood from the foot.
he's like, oh. And he goes over to his wall, and you see like this needle-looking weird thing with there's like a corkscrew shape to it,
Hmm.
and there's like a bit of glass on the end of it. He picks it up. It's like it has this little wooden post that it's on his wall of torture instruments.
Okay.
He grabs that, and he walks over to another corner of the room and picks up like this little glass vial. Walks over to Castor and starts screwing it into his leg.
Hmm.
That sounds exciting.
Fresh from the tap.
Yep. And sets the vial up on it. And he starts humming to himself a little bit. And as it finishes, he
I'm
just
just
rips it out.
standing there next to him. I'm just standing there next to him, tapping my foot on the.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, these things take time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
hopefully you don't have to cut much more off of him for this.
And so he pulls the vial away when it's almost done. And he thumbs a cork into it. And he just leaves the tap running. There's just blood going down the side of this,
Oh God!
this table.
Man.
Hands it to you.
You might, if you want to ask him any more
Hmm.
questions, you might stop that.
If he's got
What?
if he's got another cork around somewhere, I'm just gonna grab one and kind of stick it in the end of the tap.
Okay. Yeah, there's a few. Like, there's a pile of the glass vials, and there's a few corks by it too. It's kind of
Yeah, so
strewn
I'll
about.
grab one of the corks and just kind of push that into the end of the tap and look over at him and be like, "Hey, we don't want to waste any." And give him a little wink.
He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I get a little clumsy sometimes."
Turn around and see the rest of my party members looking at me really awkwardly, and I'm like, "What?"
We all do.
He says, "That's pretty much all I know. I think there was 4 or 5 people going to Bedford."
Man, this guy's a freak. Let's go.
Yeah, let's definitely make like a crew, guys.
Hey guys, what's a Bedford?
I don't know. Let's ask somebody else.
Which one was Bedford? That place up north?
It's for sleeping on.
Bedford sounds like. God damn it. Fuck.
Hey, Darwin would have gotten it. And
Yeah,
I just started
well,
walking
Darwin
off
would have been on
disappointed.
top of that shit.
Yeah. I just walk off disappointed that nobody got my joke and Darwin's not there.
Uh,
God damn.
no. Bedford could be another history check.
Bedford.
Sounds like a name.
No, it sounded like a place. Or
Or a
Yeah,
name
I
of a
don't know.
place. Or a place with a name.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
Well, that's where he fucking pointed out to on his shitty map, right?
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last scribble that he made.
Oh, the one that's closer to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
All right.
called that Bedford.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go fucking crash for the night, guys.
Yeah.
And then
Good idea.
in the morning we can ask about if anyone knows the location of this Bedford place. And then we'll head on over and kill some people, I guess.
We do that, pretty well.
Likely.
Alright.
Yeah.
Very likely.
So you guys make your way on out.
Yeah. Taking the tablet, leaving behind the person.
Okay. Yeah, he's very eager to stay behind.
Yeah.
And he's waving excitedly. This is say hi to Steven for me.
Will do. You freaky little son of a bitch.
He nods and pulls out that dagger gave him and starts walking back. And you hear a grinding stone start.
Ooh.
Ugh.
At least he takes care of his tools.
Should we have left that dagger with him?
You know, it's too late to ask that question.
Yeah, but I don't feel wrong for asking it.
Yeah. Should we? I shouldn't have even showed it to him.
This guy is going to be a powerful archwizard here with a dagger full of souls.
Maybe. Or he'll just be a very happy torturer with a brand new flashlight.
Why not both?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it lights up from blood, it's gonna be pretty fucking bright.
Right.
Well, that's a problem for somebody else.
Yeah. I'll stand by that.
Alright. So you guys head on out. You see, as you guys are walking out of this room, that the other unconscious guy is being handed off to someone that slightly resembles the man you were talking to before, but you can tell it's a different person. But seems to be in the same line of work.
Okay.
And he's picking up this other captured guard. And not paying any attention to you. He seems transfixed on this person they're handing off. And the guards just kind of throw him, and they're not really paying. It seems like they're kind of trying to keep their distance from him a little bit.
I don't blame him. Not one bit.
Yep. And that guy starts dragging away this other unconscious man that you captured down one of the other tunnels, humming to himself. And so the other guards see you. They're like, "All right, we're ready to get out of here."
Yeah, let's definitely go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he closes the door behind you guys, and you start walking your way back up the spiral staircase, back into the jail. Start making your way back up into the barracks, and then you're out in the manor. And there's that same guard leading you out. He's like, "So did you guys get everything you came here for?" Or?
Maybe a little more than.
He starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, that guy's not great to talk to, but he's good at what he does, so we keep him around."
Alright, imagine so.
Someone's got to do it, I think. I'll try not to think about it too much.
Probably the right idea.
Yeah. Anything interesting?
Other than that guy being batshit crazy.
This is a great opportunity to ask him about Bedford.
Oh yeah.
We could, or just in case this guy is a plant, maybe we should ask after a full night's rest.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think so, and I don't have any reason. This guy's sketchy as fuck. But
This is the same guy that let you in.
yeah, I don't know. If you guys feel comfortable with it, I'm fine asking him about it.
I don't care. It just seemed like an obvious opportunity.
Yeah, well, go for it.
But we can wait for another one.
No, it's fine.
Let's do like an insight or something if you want.
Let me check. I might be good at that. Nope. No, I'm not.
Oh.
Let's just ask him. Have you ever heard of a place called Bedford? It was one of the numerous places he mentioned.
I
So you say
yell out from
Bedford.
across the way, "It's for sleeping!"
Well, yeah, that's all he could tell us about it. But
So yeah, you say Bedford, and he starts like stroking his beard a little bit, thinking. You yell out, "It's for sleeping!" And he seems really confused. And about 5 seconds later, he's like, "God damn it!"
well, yeah. We thought if that was the first thing he came to, that maybe there was something else. Other than that, it has no meaning.
He's like, Bedford. I know that's the name of one of the captains of that night group a long time ago. The First Order or whatever. You guys heard of them,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, not really.
Shit,
Yeah.
so he was giving us the name, not a place.
It's like, well, anymore they kind of call their burial ground Bedford just because that's the name of the guy that ran all that. He was the kind of their leader. That's kind of what everyone refers to the burial ground as. Its official name's like resting place of the First Order. Everyone just calls it Bedford.
That's a lot of words already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit, guys, we gotta go there.
Yep. He's the only one anyone remembers in the group, so.
Well,
By
it
name,
sucks
at
to be
least.
everybody else.
Yep. But yeah, that's not too far from here. A long time ago, they were the kind of the night order of this town when it was more of a grand capital.
Any other surviving relatives of those other people who might be feeling a little salty? That only one guy being remembered?
I don't know. Not that I've heard of.
Okay, alright. You're not related to any of them?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
Most of them
Alright.
died. So, didn't pass on a whole lot of relatives.
Yeah, you never know.
So
Figured
they
I'd
all
ask.
have marked graves. It's just he's the one that led the group, so he had made the biggest splash.
Okay.
What's up, one crit?
Oh, snap. One crit showed up.
Oh, dang.
So I'm gonna,
Well, you gotta out us
ask-
like that, calling us nerds.
yeah. It's putting our business out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I'll ask this guy, how far of a walk is it from here to there?
He's like, I bet if you left early in the morning, you'd be able to get there before sundown. And it'd be pushing it trying to make it back on the same day. But easily, if you devote like 1-2 days to it, you could do that.
You said 1 to 2 days?
Yeah, he's like, if you left early in the morning, you'd get there before sundown.
Okay.
Kind of late afternoon.
Okay.
Oh, a whole lot of people go out there ever, though. It's not much out there.
Yeah,
It's in the middle of a forest. Sorta. I mean, it's not thick forest like to the north of here, but it's not. I don't even think there's an inn that way.
Oh, shit. We're going to be camping out, guys.
Oh, snap. Out in the outside. Where
That's
the
so
outside
cool.
is.
I love the outside.
All right.
Let's get
Go ahead.
to it.
All right, so guys. So what are you
let's
guys
not
thinking? Probably doing a long rest, then leaving the next day.
Well, did we want to? I agree on the long rest first, but did we want to see someone about identifying this jewelry?
Oh
we
yeah,
got?
see if there's a magic guy in
Yeah.
town.
I believe we had a handful of crap that I
Yeah, we got
mostly forgot at this point in time.
4 rings and 2 amulets.
Yeah, those are the yep.
So, do we
Those are
know
what
of a magic
struck
shop
you.
in town?
They it's like, yeah, there's a magic shop over there.
Okay.
They point you, and it's like 2 blocks that way.
Okay. Well, why don't
Okay,
we? Let's
directed.
go crash for the night, and then first thing in the morning, let's go raid this magic shop, and then get out on the road.
All right, you guys do so. Going back to the original inn, or now that
No, we're going back to our house.
Yeah, we got a
Oh,
house
right.
now.
I
Yeah.
forgot about-
Yeah.
I gave you guys a house.
I got a
Yeah.
I got a
Yes,
cozy
you have a
floor
house.
surrounded by dead animal heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My mistake. Yep. So you guys head back to Sir Ackelmeyer Mansion, Rupert Ackelmeyer's mansion, that is now in your
Yep.
possession. Stay the night there. Uneventful. Wake up the next day, ready to go.
Good.
Oh my! It's been a large.
You Burgled.
Oh no.
I found the wrong layer to freaking delete it.
Joe's been foiled.
Oh,
Not again.
no. More for those pesky kids.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys wake up the next day. The magic shop you were directed to would be this here.
Okay. Let's go check it out.
So you head down the street there. You run into, or you pass by one of the bridges that your friend seems to have been sleeping at the past few days, and he's still working his
Darvin
way.
there?
Yeah, Darvin's at this first bridge here.
Hey, Darvin!
Perks up, and you see one of his ears like spin behind his head, and looks over.
What's
he's
a
like,
bed for?
"Oh, what's a bed for?"
It's for sleeping!
Oh! And he's like falls on his back, almost falls into the water. Gets very startled as he's almost rolling off the edge and catches himself back up. He's like, "That's a good one."
I just
Can I
start
use
walking
it?
down the street ahead of everybody and yell back to him, "Yep, it's all yours!"
Ah! And he's jumping, and you see him pull out that crumpled piece of paper he keeps in his pocket and start hurriedly scribbling. Alright, so you guys head down, and you make it to the magic shop, and is named the Garn Family Magic Shop. And,
Okay.
seem doors shut, but still early in the day, but there's a light on inside.
Okay. In I go.
Alright. You head in, and you see a man that slightly resembles the one from the first town in size. but he has a different colored hair. It's like slightly lighter hair, slightly taller, not as old. But still very short. It's like a midget halfling almost. And,
Any
he's-
chance you're related to that one asshole in that one med shop in that one town that's nearby?
Is his last name also Garn?
We'll go with a yes on that.
It is.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, that's my brother. You've seen my brother in the other town. How's he doing?
Short.
He laughs a little bit at that. So yeah, he's the short one of the family. He like straightens himself up a little bit and makes it, right around 2.5 feet, 3 feet tall.
Man.
Nice. He's
Just
going all out there.
out
Yeah.
of character here. Didn't we threaten his brother with something?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Sort of, not really. When you interacted with Garn in the first town, you had that staff, which was a very not good item.
He didn't
And
want anything to
He
do with
didn't
it.
want it. Yeah, he didn't want to mess with it. So the only thing you really threatened him with is like you really wanted him to tell you something about it, and he wasn't comfortable with messing with it, but he still told you who you should talk to. So you didn't threaten him or anything.
He was a sissy. That's it.
Yeah, he just didn't want to really mess with anything. That's
Okay.
evil.
All right.
It's like,
Well, here we got some shit and rings.
He's
and
like, "Oh, what you
amulets
got?"
presented. And we need you to help us figure out what the fuck they do.
all right, and so you plop down 2 amulets and 4 rings.
Yeah, that's it.
And he snaps instantly. He's like, "Rings of protection. Seen a million of them. That's what they are."
What about
And he
those
picks one up.
amulets?
He's like, he looks at it and he's picking up the ring again still and looking at he's like a little piece of, or like an open book on the other side of the counter. He's like looking at it, kind of pretending like he's not looking at it. He's like, yeah, ring of protection. And he sets it back down.
It's fantastic. Absolutely.
And then picks up the amulet. And the amulet kind of, I didn't describe what it looked like before, but it's like a chain necklace, and then there's kind of like this, almost looks like a feather that's golden at the bottom of it, and it's not like a feather hanging down off of like just one side. It's like a feather worked into the chain. So it's like one end of the chain clips into the top part of the feather, and the other one clips into like the needle end of it. And he's like, I haven't seen anything like this. And he sits down, starts rifling through the book, and looks at one page like really intently and starts pushing his finger down, following his finger as he's reading. He's like, nah, it's not that. And flips another bit through the page. About 2 minutes go by as he's flipping through this book. Then he sighs. He's like, and puts his hand out over it. And you hear him start saying some incantations of such. A little bit of light flashes out of his fingertips. And some like light blue color. And after the spell wears off a little bit, he's like, say amulet that once attuned gives you 1 resistance and 1 vulnerability. This looks like resistance to radiant and vulnerability to necrotic.
I definitely don't need that.
Well, we'll hold on to it. What's the other one do?
And the other
what
ones
is it?
are rings of protection. So they're +1 to all saves and +1 to AC.
Both amulets are the same thing.
Both amulets look exactly the same, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there's enough for us each to have 1 ring of protection if we want to divvy them out that way.
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
And then we'll have to see who wants necrotic radiance.
Yeah. Resistance to
hold on to him.
radiance and vulnerable to necrotic.
Yeah, I don't need one of those. So if you guys want one, that's fine.
I feel like we're gonna
I'll-
encounter more necrotic damage and radiant damage at this point.
Yep.
I don't know. If nobody else wants them, I'll just put them in my inventory and then we can figure it out later.
Yeah.
It may be that these items were more useful to the people you took them from than for you guys.
Well,
That
that is a
checks
good
out.
point.
But yeah.
What's it called?
What's it called? The amulet?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's not in Beyond. It's just
Oh,
say
dang.
like a feather amulet.
Oh, well, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, it's a custom item. And I didn't name it. I just called it amulet. But yeah, the rings of protection are named though, so you each have a ring of protection now.
I actually have 2 of them now.
Oh, that's right. You found one earlier, so you can sell one if you want.
Or I'll just wear 2 of them.
You can do that. Yeah,
Well,
I think.
The game let me do it, so I assume
Fuck it, you can do it.
I assume for the best.
Yeah. All right. So those are the items you had. I guess you also have the slab. I don't know if you want him to look at that or not.
Nah.
I could,
I don't think we need to implicate anyone else in this slab.
Yeah.
I guess we've got a good idea, then yeah.
it's a key of some sort.
All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do in town, or are you ready to set out?
I'm ready to set out.
Okay. So it is to the southeast of town. The guard you talked to kind of marked it out. He said if you travel east out of town, eventually there's a road that'll break off to the south. That's kind of just a trail. Goes to the forest. It doesn't really lead anywhere other than that. But it splits off a few times. But if you always stay on the path that's the wider of the two, whenever it forks or splits, that it'll lead you there. And
Okay.
so you travel on that way, I imagine.
Yep. Make like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck out of here.
And for the sake of not needing to pad out anything in this game, because already doing too much, we'll say you guys start approaching this site as it's still like evening. You think it's about maybe an hour from dusk. So there's still some direct sunlight, but it's still kind of red in the sky.
Yeah.
But as you guys travel along, been going through the forest all day. It's been pretty uneventful.
Good. Yeah, we make it to the place.
You make it to a place.
All right. Well, guys. Oh shit. We should definitely
Ooh.
move quickly. I would prefer not to get stuck here at night.
Good point.
Hobo
All
murdered
right.
even.
Yeah. Okay. So as you guys start making it in, the path kind of widens, but it's not so much like the dirt portion of the path, because there's grass and brush and shrubbery and such and trees off to the side. But kind of like the clearing widens as you're approaching this site, and there's trees that are getting less and less close to the pathway, and there seems to be rather like the closer you're getting, it's less just dirt, but every so often you're seeing kind of like actually cobblestoned road almost. Or it's been worked a little bit more, but it's still just very in poor condition. Doesn't seem like anyone's caring to maintain it.
Okay.
And eventually you reach this circular clearing in the trees and shrubs, and you're at what looks like a cemetery. And you see 3 rows of gravestones all in a circle around this circular path, and in the center of it is this giant stone statue of a man in full plate armor. And there's like a big plaque at his feet, but it's kind of covered in shrubs.
Do we see any movement of any sort around this graveyard?
If you're looking, make a perception check.
Yes. Okay. I got a 2.
The wind's blowing, and there's some
Ooh.
leaves moving. That
Very
seems to be
suspicious.
like what your eyes are focusing on. So, every bit of movement you catch is just leaves and branches and brushes. You don't see any people or even animals.
Well, it looks clear, guys.
All right, what do
Then
you
I'll
guys do?
move. I'm ready to move forward.
All right, you should have control of your tokens.
I would
Oh.
if I wasn't on the draw tool. That was my bad. There we go. I'm going to start moving forward up this little mound.
I'll just
All
kind of
right.
stay towards the back, I think.
All right. So start walking up, and it starts turning into like better made cobblestone pathing, but it's still pretty worn down. Like the elements have really gotten to everything and eroded it. And most of the surface chunks of cobblestone are there, and there's a lot of dirt just in the cracks everywhere. Some weeds and such are sprouting between bits, and there's just bushes and things growing into the pathway, but there's still enough to kind of walk around.
Okay.
You see all the gravestones seem to be like the written sides of the gravestones are facing inward.
Okay. I want to cautiously move up to that statue.
Okay. Who is holding the slab? I imagine Torch is.
It's either Torge or myself, but I'm fine
I
if
was gonna
Torge
say,
has
I
it.
think at one point in time I was carrying the slab because nobody else would it.
Well, it changed hands, I think, since then, and then also after our creepy friend in the basement.
Yeah. That's why I lost track of who had it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
I
fine.
know I have a glass vial of blood from a
I'm fine carrying it if we want to.
Okay, well then I'll let you carry it, and I'll cautiously move up to the statue.
Okay. You walk up to the statue, and it's about, I'd say, 12 feet tall. Rather large. Looks to be kind of like a heroic pose of a knight in very eroded stone armor. It's not well maintained, but you can see at one point, kind of like all the bits that have been shielded by the elements just from how the curves and such of the statue are. You can see there's a lot of fine detail where the elements haven't gotten to it, but it's just been worn down.
This thing is old as balls, guys.
Yeah.
You said there was some kind of placard or something at the foot of it?
Yeah, this right here is like a plaque. It has some shrubs and things growing over it, but they don't look to be like directly in front of it. You could probably clear it relatively easily.
Yeah, I'll clear it off and take a look.
All right. So you start clearing it off, and you see what appears to be a symbol, which looks kind of like 3 very abstract swords crossed at like a 3-point. They're not like making a triangle. It's like they're all intersecting at the blade in the center. There's that symbol with the text of First Order written over it. And big words that say, "Here lies Bedford, champion of the First Order." And there's some text below it, but it's kind of been withered away because it was like a smaller, not as large text, and it's just totally eroded.
Oh.
Does there look like there's a slot that the tablet could go in? Or does it look like it's about the size of one of these gravestones?
The what?
The tablet.
Does it look like it should be going somewhere on the statue, or does it look like it's not gravestone sized, is it?
It's almost gravestone sized. That gravestone sized, yeah.
Does it look like there's something that's missing a gravestone?
You get a search for like a gravestone.
Yeah,
Maybe like.
look around to see if there's
missing.
something that looks like a thing. Yeah.
All right, give me a perception check.
Oh, I'm good at these. Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Did you even open your eyes when you looked?
No, was I supposed to?
As good of an idea as it was to look, you have no fucking clue what you're searching for beyond that. You're just kind of pacing around, like you can't even decide where you want to start looking. You're like, oh, should I be
think
over
I'm
there? And
kicking rocks around.
yeah,
Well, taking a cue from his idea, I'll help look for something that looks like this slab might fit.
okay.
You're the smart.
So, yeah. So with that 19, you're kind of looking around, see all these stone slabs. Most of them are pretty evenly distributed around this this whole grave site. But it looks like right about here, there's like a big gap where I guess I should move the stream down. There we go. Right about here.
I guess as far as that region's concerned, yeah, there's a gap there.
There's a big. You notice like kind of all of them are evenly spaced, but it almost looks like it skips a spot there. It's kind of overgrown with grass and shrubbery in that area too.
Well, let's go give it a little quick digging at and see if anything fits there.
And good night, 1N20 D&D.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Thanks
by.
for coming out. Yeah.
We're gonna
All right.
die.
So you're going over this. You said
Yeah,
you're
let's
moseying
go
your way
see
over.
what's there. We'll
Okay.
kind of dig that out a little bit and see if this here stone slab I have fits with that here stone slab I can spot.
Okay. So you make your way there. Imagine you're standing there. You're searching, and you notice that it's kind of like where there should be, like kind of dead center between these two slabs, where you estimate there should be one. There is like a bit of a gravestone, a little bit left. Like there's some stone sticking out of the ground that looks like it's been worked, and it looks like there's kind of a broken bit that there used to be a gravestone here, but it's been broken away.
Well, does this look like it'd sit on top there? Like
It looks like it might be about that size.
Let's
It
just
seems
do
to be
it.
the same color of stone.
Let's just stop talking about it and let's just do it.
All right. And there's kind of like a jagged enough cut you're able to see which orientation it should be. And due to how Like it looks like it's a relatively fresh break, just because the rock is so much lighter colored, and it hasn't really been worn down. There's still some sharp edges on it, whereas everything else in the whole site's been really worn down. Looks like this has been kind of broken off recently on both sides.
It's a little bit awkward.
Yeah.
Who done did it?
So you place it down, and setting it there, nothing really happens at first. That you don't really hear anything, see anything.
At first,
But
You can get blood on it or something.
I have that.
Perhaps bring over the vial of blood. Worthwhile sacrifice.
I walk over and I pull out the little glass bottle and just crush it in my hand right above it.
okay.
Gross.
Wipe my hand off on the grass.
As long as you don't wipe it off on me, we're all right.
So you break that, and it starts dripping over this vial, or this tombstone. And it kind of pools at the top bit of it and drips over the side, kind of in a nasty stream. As it's hitting the cracks that are all kind of etched into the front of it, it fills those and then pours out of the ends of it and makes its way down to the next. And it seems to be flowing almost unnaturally to fill those all as perfectly as it is. And
Yuck.
that's when that, yeah. And when its last little notch in the bottom's starting to fill with blood, the air goes totally still. All the rustling of the leaves stops. Kind of like you were hearing some sound, just, ambient noise of the leaves in the forest around you. All goes quiet, still. And the blood starts not evaporating, but, disappearing almost as it's being sucked into this gravestone. And the only blood that's there now is that which is cut into your hand from the glass.
And your smooth move to just
Yeah.
crush it barehanded.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, I'm not a delicate guy.
You better hope that guy had no diseases.
Yeah, you could have something. Also, big shout out.
I brushed it off on the grass.
Right?
I think paladins can cure diseases. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Maybe.
Yeah, see, there you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
heck
Orange
yeah.
got my back.
Yeah. But anyway, big shout out to the RP geeks for the awesome raid.
Oh, hell yeah.
I butchered
Woo!
that name the first time.
RP Geeks.
The
Also,
RP geeks.
The RP
swords. Swords kill diseases too.
Swords do most
Swords
indeed.
do kill
So,
disease. Swords
If
kill
you've
everything.
got a
so
disease,
Dare
I have
you
a
to
cure.
try.
they would kill disease as well. But yeah, it's awesome raiding.
I bet my axe is bigger than your sword.
Doesn't
Oh,
have to be.
man.
Doesn't matter.
All right. But yeah,
All right.
this air is totally still, and you don't hear anything. But Elton, you notice there seems to be kind of like a glow coming from. It's kind of from where you're standing. There's like a bit of a light. Your shadow's kind of. You notice the outline of your shadow being cast on this gravestone.
From behind me.
Yep.
Ish.
Yep.
I suppose I will turn around to look this ish way and see what's casting some light on me, and I hope it's just an open door.
You don't see an open door. It's still very much closed. This whatever the hell these are called.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleums?
Yeah.
Mausoleum?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a mausoleum. But what you do see.
Look at that. I turned my token, guys.
So fancy.
What?
Yeah. About to
See
ask
this-
that direction. What?
Yeah. You see this doodad standing there.
Uh-oh. I don't like doodads.
And at first glance, it looks like a guy in armor. But you notice it's glowing a little bit brightly. I also notice that his feet aren't exactly touching the ground.
Hmm. Does the glow appear to be coming from him just broadly speaking, or from something he's wearing?
Just pretty much from him. It seems like his whole person's emanating this like white glow.
Well, either he's something we need to kill, or he's something that is gonna kill us. So let's find out.
Yeah, let's go talk to this ghost motherfucker.
So he turns and looks at you guys. And slowly starts moving its way. It's moving like hovering feet like around.
Is he going downtown, hovering fast?
Yep. Slow up. And he stops right about there. And he has a helmet on, so you can't see a face. But you see it's looking at you, Alton, and then panning slowly across the group of you.
Has he responded to our attempts to communicate with him?
Has anyone called out?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then I
What's
guess
a bed fur?
Oh, God.
You call that out?
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
let's let
I
it go.
do.
Let's let it go.
And so you say, "What's a bed for?" And you see him raising one of his hands. And he starts...
I just stop and go, oh shit.
and he puts like his palm against his chest and bows his head slightly.
Ah. Okay. I kinda look like, I get it, and then I kinda bow gently to him as well.
Yeah, I'll return the gesture.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? This one's not for sleeping.
Mm-hmm. You hear this loud, kind of disembodied voice. It doesn't sound threatening, but it sounds powerful. This man says, "Yes, I am Bedford. Who are you?" He kind of addresses the group of you and pans his head around. He's looking at Torge directly because he's the one that called out first, but after no response, he kind of is looking between you guys.
I'll call out in response. I am Viet, cleric of that one deity.
You know,
a
Oh,
devout
boy.
Very
follower,
official.
I see.
We'll
I
go
don't-
with cleric of Moradin. There we go.
I don't.
All right.
Uh,
St. Martin. I've not heard that name.
He's kind of new around here.
Okay.
I mean, cosmologically.
And he looks
Yeah.
down. He's like, "Well, judging by my state, I may have been gone a while."
Yeah, the important part is he wants me to kill this fucking rule guy.
Rule?
Wait, is it
I
Ja
killed
Rule?
Rule.
well, much like you appear to be alive again, apparently he is too.
Or at least his people
some
are trying to
form.
make it happen. Yeah.
That's surprising. I never understood why people would follow someone like that. They die. That he kills his. I don't get it. But
Some people
Wait.
like that.
well, I guess if I'm back, that's proof enough that he could be back as well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I appreciate you returning the gravestone of my comrade.
Well, good. Yeah.
Some group of people broke it off for whatever reason. I don't
People
know
are
what for.
assholes. Yeah, that's really it.
It's been defaced some, I've seen, but
Teenagers.
where it decide. It's where it should be.
Anyway, we got some information out of one of his servants that there's some kind of weapon or some shit here that Rule doesn't.
Weapon?
So we were hoping to get it so that we could then go up to wherever the fuck they're at and smite the shit out of them.
Well, as parts of the First Order, we were all in possession of weapons that Rule was not kind to.
Yeah, but was one like special?
I mean,
No,
they're all
not just
specially
one.
made.
I believe there's a variety of weapons available.
And he he puts his hands out and kind of like spins slowly around him. He's like, each one of my brothers were well equipped to deal with people of this kind. And
Not that I'm a fan of grave robbing, but dang, we probably could use some help.
he's like, I see that. I don't sense any sort of weapons of caliber among any of you. I'm getting a slight
Hey,
twinge
now.
from. He's looking at Alton. He's like, sensing something on you, but nothing of what you need.
Yeah. I got a
We're a
couple
bit
of
underfunded.
we're amateurs.
So he hovers over to you. He's like, what's your name? Alton. He's asking.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, Alton. Yeah.
Okay. And you appear to be the ranged type. But there were some of my brothers that also fought this way. Not that I care for it too much, but
Cowards. They're all cowards.
without looking at you, he points at you. He's like, exactly. But I digress. It's like, well, I know one that's fought in such a way, and he hovers over here and looks at this gravestone here,
Okay.
and he's like, you might not want to stand there.
Oh, okay.
And he puts his hand out, and kind of the light and the glow about his body seems to concentrate itself towards his hand. And you feel like a little bit of the ground beneath you shaking and rumbling a tiny bit. You hear some crunching, and out from the ground rips this bow that slowly pulls itself.
Ooh.
With as it's pulling itself out of the ground, there's like this skeletal hand still on it, but it just kind of fades and turns to dust as it
So we'll
keeps
just
pulling
tuck that
itself
back in
out.
there, but
Yeah. It falls away. He's like, this might be something you need. And it floats like kind of gently over to you, and it starts losing its glow and falls into your hands.
take it graciously.
Then he
But
moves.
I'm curious if you can tell me what it does.
He's like, well, I didn't really use it myself, but seems like it shot something slightly different than what you loaded into it.
Okay.
And
We'll test it out soon enough.
Jello shots?
Shoot them right into my mouth.
so he floats over to you, Torge. He's like, now there's a man that has a weapon I can get behind. And he sees the axe at your side. He's like, I bet you felled many a man with that.
I do love swinging a large weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
It's like, I'm more of the swordsman myself, and he kind of holds up his sword, but it's like, I can respect someone for the fine arts. It's like, you come off the right way to me. And he starts floating over here. It's like, I think you only deserve my friend. He does the same motion, puts his hand out, the light from his body kind of flows to it. You hear some rumbling. And through the ground, this axe rips out. And it looks like an axe at first because the blade comes out. But on the other side of it is kind of like a hammer end. And as it continues to raise out, it's kind of like, if you've ever seen like a meat tenderizer, how the hammer has like
yeah,
the
there's little spikes on it.
little spikes. Yeah, it's one of those.
Somebody's a little too excited.
That's raising itself out.
I would say it's an appropriate amount of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hell yeah,
There's
it is.
There's a gauntleted like hand still kind of attached to it, and it starts sliding off as it comes out, and it lands on the ground.
It's a meat hammer for a meathead.
Yeah. It's like, take good care of this for me.
You do me great on. I will take great care of it.
He floats over to you, Viet. He's like, I see you too wield a weapon of great honor.
Yep, axes.
They're pretty great.
They're pretty awesome.
Not as great as a sword, but, close second. Close second.
Yeah, I won't argue with you on that.
So he floats over to this stone here. Does the same motion. Light in his hand. Ground shakes. And out comes a great axe. Slightly resembling the one that Torch has, but both ends of this are clearly an axe. And there's a long spike on the end of the shaft towards the bottom of it. There's also a spike. It's a spike on both ends, so there's like one on the end with the two axe blades, and then there's one at the bottom.
At the butt, yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
He's like, wield this well. Served my brothers. Gives that to you.
Nice. I will do it. Honor.
And he floats over to you. He's like, well, you're a confusing one. I don't see any weapons on you.
Yes. I use my mind.
Your mind, eh? Well,
My mind. Although I can use wands and a pin.
I yell over and hold up my new axe, and I go, hammer's better!
He does the same thing where he like points behind his head and snaps like straight at you and turns into a thumbs up. But he's like, well, I still believe I might have something that can help. And he floats his way over to this single grave that's way out here.
The place of honor outside the ring.
Yeah. And does the same motion, puts his hand out. The ground starts to shake or whatever. And a very tiny hole breaks through. And there seems to be like this pouch that comes out. It's like a leather sack, sort of.
Ooh.
Pops out of the ground. And he grabs it by the top and faces towards you and just tosses it in the air over at you.
Thanks.
It's like, there weren't many in our ranks that were caster types, but they have their uses. So, this was the components pouch of one of our mages.
Ooh.
And served him well.
See, I just dumped it out to keep my beef jerky in.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for the gifts. We're ready to go make some rule motherfuckers rue the day they met us.
It's
He's like-
hunting time.
That's good effort.
Yeah, it was a stretch, I know.
Yeah. Those ancient tongues are kind of hard to make puns out of.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, it was a pleasure meeting you. I'm going to go spend the next 2,000 years in this little box.
Okay.
Have fun with that.
He floats, phases through his statue of himself, and makes his way inside this room.
Okay. Well, we all got magic fucking weapons, guys,
Yeah.
that do something.
That do something indeed. Which you all find out within the 2 weeks.
Hit the
To our next
next
session.
episode
In
Yes.
the next episode of
Yeah.
Gebrindalethor.
of Gebrindalethor Z.
Gebrindalethor.
Since we're gearing up here for our finale of this Gebrindalethor campaign, we're going to start the next session with you guys approaching where it's been described that rules followers have been gathering.
Sounds good to me. I'm all about that fast travel.
So just
Yeah.
imagine some sort of travel montage in between now and
Mhm.
next.
There you go.
2-week long montage in real
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
Long enough to travel for you guys to
2-week
be
long montage.
well acquainted with what your items do, so you'll be able to know all their secrets and such when we start our next game in 2 weeks.
All right.
And our viewers will be well acquainted with montage that they imagine in their
Gonna need
minds.
a montage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Montage.
So
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
before we sign
Yeah.
off,
Batman commercial break. Ba-da-da-da-da.
yeah,
Yeah.
we need to give a plug to Libris Arcana.
Hell yeah.
Those fuckers have dice on a subscription service. They got cool shit, and if you sign up for a subscription service and you use discount code Cobalt, you'll get 20% off the first month's purchase. Yeah.
Good deal, and they're
Heck
awesome
yeah.
dice.
They
It's
also have some other
pretty
things
good.
like leather book covers and other RPG fanatic knickknacks. But they make some cool stuff, so check them out. They've been a long time sponsor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. LibrisArcanus.com. What else do we got? So if people haven't figured it out, this campaign here on Tuesday nights, Dan, you should mute your super loud keyboard.
Sorry.
I can hear how blue those key switches are from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very blue.
Somebody knows their Razer keyboards.
Yeah.
Well, they're mechanical.
Ooh, wait,
keyboards.
it's a razor?
It's a Razer, so it's like green or orange. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah.
That their blue equivalent is.
Yeah.
It was very affordable.
Okay. So if people haven't figured it out, here in we got one more session of this, Joe.
Yeah,
So
one, maybe two, depending. I'm hoping to wrap this up in the next 2 weeks, or
Yeah.
after the next 2 week session. But
Yeah.
if need be, it'll carry on into the following week.
So the 27th.
Yeah.
And then after we finish that up, Alex over on our Friday nights game, he's stepping down as a DM. So Joe here, you're going to be moving into our Friday night games.
Heck yeah.
So this Tuesday night game is moving to
Friday
every other
nights.
Friday night,
Yep.
straddling my Friday night games.
The same week, but just on Friday instead of Tuesdays.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, so then
In
every
person.
Friday, Defenders of Kobold in person in
Yep.
Dan's basement.
True
We'll
story.
be moving mostly away from Roll20, and the sessions will be twice as long.
That is
So-
accurate.
Hey, we got one last call out for. I don't even know how to say that name.
She rolls like that. Hey,
She rolls
thanks
like that.
for coming by. I know I've seen that
Yeah,
name
you just
before.
read it right in a row, left to right.
Yeah, that's
I'm sitting too far away from it, and
how sentences work. Yeah.
Do you need new glasses, man?
I probably do.
I know a guy.
Your keyboard was so loud you couldn't read.
Mm.
Yeah.
True story.
But until we see you, I guess you come back on Friday for Alex's game as we wrap up the Tomb of Annihilation.
Yep.
You can swing by Dad Bod D&D tomorrow night, where I'll be playing a one-shot there. Come by. Do I have a game this Thursday?
Do you?
Do you?
No, I don't.
You don't even know.
I don't think you do.
I do not have a game this Thursday. I do have a game Saturday where the Notorious DMG will be wrapping up our run in Delta Green.
Mhm.
So, very exciting. So, yeah. I don't know. I ain't got shit else. That's all the shit I got to plug. Real quick, big shout out to Adam, Sergeant Baker. Adam from the Zweihander crew. He has upped his pledge to us on Patreon to the whatever the fuck our $5 tier is. So
Oh damn!
Wow.
he's kicking us
Hell
that big
yeah.
money now. Yeah.
Awesome.
He's just about shoveling money at us.
Right. So if you want to help us out too, you can hit our Patreon and throw money at our way to make us feel less sad about our our crippling financial situations.
Yeah.
Stuff. Words. Yeah.
Very
Words. You
Yeah.
did it.
I technically did it. Yes.
He's just so broken up about it. It's a hard subject.
very, very sad about how poor we are.
Chuck
Yes.
is so poor he can't even afford the owls.
He
Yeah. That's
can't even
it.
speak a sentence.
Mm-mm. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. So I'm ready to make like a tree.
Heck yeah.
Ooh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. It's
We're
Yeah.
doing our best
Fun night.
tree things that we can do.
some
Accurate.
foreshadowing, some final boss battle shenanigans.
Bom,
In 2
bom,
weeks, we'll
bom.
meet up for the
Exciting.
conclusion of the Gebrindalethor campaign.
Yep. So yeah.
Sad to see it end.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
gotta all see each other on Tuesday or on Friday nights in person.
Yeah,
so
and then
that'll
it'll
be
be
pretty
in
great.
person.
True. We're getting upgraded.
Yeah,
Yeah. Highly accurate.
absolutely.
But
All right. Thanks for coming out, guys. We'll see you next time.
later.
Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you soon.